Alexander the Great was born in 356 BC in Pella, the ancient capital of Macedonia. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant military leader who had united most of Greece under his rule. His mother, Queen Olympias, was a fiercely devoted woman who believed Alexander was destined for greatness. From a young age, Alexander showed signs of extraordinary intelligence and ambition. He was tutored by the great philosopher Aristotle, who instilled in him a love for knowledge and exploration. Aristotle also taught Alexander the importance of wisdom, courage, and the pursuit of excellence. At the age of 12, Alexander tamed a wild horse named Bucephalus, which no one else could ride. This feat impressed his father, who declared that Macedonia was too small for such a son. When Alexander was 16, he was left in charge of Macedonia while his father was away on campaign. During this time, he successfully quelled a rebellion, demonstrating his leadership skills. At the age of 18, Alexander fought in the Battle of Chaeronea, where he played a crucial role in the Macedonian victory. Philip was assassinated when Alexander was 20, and he ascended to the throne as king. His first act as king was to crush the rebellions that had erupted in Greece following his father's death. He then set his sights on the Persian Empire, the most powerful empire in the world at that time. In 334 BC, Alexander crossed the Hellespont into Asia with an army of 35,000 men. His first major battle was at the Granicus River, where he defeated the Persian forces. He continued to push eastward, winning victories at Issus and Tyre. At the Battle of Issus, Alexander faced the Persian King Darius III, who fled the battlefield. Alexander's charisma and leadership inspired loyalty and devotion among his men. He treated his soldiers as equals, sharing their hardships and leading them into battle. His sense of humor also endeared him to his troops, often making jokes to lift their spirits. Once, when his soldiers complained of exhaustion, Alexander jokingly asked if they wanted to trade places with him. His men laughed, knowing their king shared the same struggles they did. Alexander's ambition drove him to continue his campaign, despite the immense challenges. In 331 BC, he faced Darius again at the Battle of Gaugamela, where he achieved a decisive victory. Darius fled once more, and Alexander pursued him relentlessly. Along the way, Alexander founded cities that became centers of culture and learning, such as Alexandria in Egypt. These cities attracted scholars, artists, and merchants from all over the world. Alexander's vision was to create a vast empire where different cultures could coexist peacefully. His love for exploration led him to venture into unknown territories, eager to see what lay beyond. He was fascinated by the customs and traditions of the people he encountered. In Egypt, he was declared a god by the priests of Amun, further enhancing his status. Alexander respected the beliefs of the people he conquered, often adopting their customs. This made him a popular and respected ruler in the lands he governed. His campaigns were not just about conquest but also about spreading knowledge and culture. Alexander's army marched through deserts, mountains, and rivers, enduring extreme conditions. Despite the hardships, his men remained loyal, inspired by his determination and courage. Alexander often led the charge in battle, risking his life alongside his soldiers. His bravery on the battlefield became legendary, and stories of his exploits spread far and wide. In India, he encountered war elephants for the first time, a sight that astonished his troops. Rather than retreating, Alexander devised a strategy to overcome this new challenge. He defeated King Porus in the Battle of the Hydaspes, earning the respect of his adversary. After the battle, Alexander treated Porus with honor, allowing him to retain his kingdom. This act of generosity won him many allies and further solidified his reputation as a just ruler. Alexander's conquests brought him vast wealth, but he remained focused on his vision. He dreamt of uniting East and West, creating a world where different cultures could thrive together. His army continued to march eastward, but the challenges grew greater with each step. The terrain became more treacherous and supplies dwindled. Alexander's men grew weary and began to question the wisdom of their king's relentless pursuit of conquest. Despite their doubts, they followed him, trusting in his leadership. Alexander's resolve never wavered, even when faced with insurmountable odds. He believed that nothing was impossible for those who dared to dream and act. His confidence and optimism were contagious, motivating his men to push forward. Along the way, Alexander took time to appreciate the beauty of the lands he passed through. He marveled at the wonders of nature, from the snow-capped mountains to the lush valleys. His love for adventure and discovery was evident in every step he took. Despite his youth, Alexander was wise beyond his years, always seeking to learn and grow. His encounters with different cultures enriched his understanding of the world. He sought to blend the best of East and West, creating a new and vibrant civilization. Alexander's vision extended beyond his lifetime, as he knew his empire would outlive him. He encouraged his men to marry women from the lands they conquered, promoting cultural integration. This policy of fusion laid the foundation for the Hellenistic culture that would shape the ancient world. Alexander's curiosity and openness to new ideas made him a true global leader. He was not content with just conquering lands. He wanted to leave a lasting legacy. His ambition was matched by his generosity, as he often shared his wealth with his men. Alexander's charisma and leadership inspired loyalty not only among his soldiers, but also among the people he ruled. He was loved by many for his fairness and his vision of a united world. His campaigns were filled with moments of humor, as Alexander often lightened the mood with his wit. Once, when his men complained about the heat, he remarked, "If we could conquer the sun, I would do it to bring you shade." His men laughed, knowing that their king was as much a friend as he was a leader. Alexander's sense of humor was a reflection of his deep understanding of human nature. He knew that laughter was a powerful tool for overcoming adversity. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life made him a beloved ruler. Alexander's charm and charisma were unmatched, and he won the hearts of many. He was not just a conqueror, he was a bridge between cultures, a symbol of unity. His love for exploration took him to the farthest reaches of the known world. He was driven by a desire to see what lay beyond the horizon, to discover new lands and peoples. Alexander's curiosity was insatiable, and he often engaged in discussions with scholars and philosophers. He believed that knowledge was the key to understanding and mastering the world. His pursuit of knowledge was matched by his desire to share it with others. Alexander founded libraries and centers of learning in the cities he established. These institutions became hubs of intellectual activity, attracting scholars from across the world. Alexander's vision of a united world was rooted in his belief in the power of knowledge. He saw himself as a custodian of wisdom, a leader who could guide humanity toward a brighter future. His campaigns were not just about conquest, they were about spreading the light of knowledge and culture. Alexander's love for adventure and exploration made him a true pioneer. He ventured into uncharted territories, driven by a desire to uncover the mysteries of the world. His sense of wonder and curiosity inspired those around him to see the world with fresh eyes. Alexander's legacy was not just in the lands he conquered, but in the ideas he spread. His vision of a united world, where different cultures could coexist peacefully, was ahead of its time. Alexander's life was a testament to the power of ambition, courage, and vision. He showed that with determination and belief in oneself, anything is possible. His journey was filled with challenges, but he never gave up, always pushing forward. Alexander's story is a reminder that greatness is not just about power, but about the impact one has on the world. He was a leader, a visionary, and a bridge between cultures, leaving a legacy that would shape history for centuries. As he stood at the edge of his empire, looking out at the vast lands he had conquered, Alexander knew that his journey was far from over. He dreamed of even greater conquests, of pushing the boundaries of the known world. But he also knew that true greatness lay not in conquest but in the lasting impact he could have on humanity. Alexander's story is one of inspiration, a reminder that with ambition, courage, and vision, anything is possible. And so, the legend of Alexander the Great, the man who sought to unite the world, continues to inspire generations. After conquering much of the known world, Alexander set his sights on further expansion. He planned to push into Arabia, eager to explore new territories and cultures. However, his men, exhausted from years of campaigning, began to long for home. Understanding their weariness, Alexander decided to return to Babylon and consolidate his empire. Despite his ambitions, he recognized the importance of maintaining the loyalty and well-being of his troops. Upon returning to Babylon, Alexander focused on governing his vast empire. He encouraged cultural exchange and integration among the diverse peoples of his realm. Alexander's cities, like Alexandria in Egypt, became melting pots of different cultures and ideas. Scholars, artists, and merchants from across the empire gathered in these cities, sharing knowledge and innovation. Alexander's vision of a united world began to take shape, with people from different backgrounds living together in harmony. His policies of integration and cultural fusion were revolutionary, laying the foundation for the Hellenistic era. Alexander's empire became a center of learning, attracting the brightest minds of the time. He supported the construction of libraries and academies, where scholars could study and teach. His love for knowledge and learning was evident in the way he governed, always seeking to expand the intellectual horizons of his people. Despite his successes, Alexander's relentless ambition did not wane. He began planning new campaigns, dreaming of further conquests in the east. But fate had other plans as Alexander fell ill in 323 BC in Babylon. His condition rapidly deteriorated, and despite the efforts of his physicians, he could not be saved. As he lay on his deathbed, Alexander's generals asked him who should succeed him. He famously replied, "To the strongest," leaving his empire without a clear successor. His death at the age of 32 marked the end of an era, but his legacy was just beginning. After his death, Alexander's empire was divided among his generals, leading to the formation of several Hellenistic kingdoms. These kingdoms continued to spread Greek culture and ideas throughout the ancient world. The cities Alexander founded became centers of learning and culture, preserving his vision of a united world. His influence extended far beyond his lifetime, shaping the course of history for centuries to come. Alexander's legacy was not just in the lands he conquered, but in the ideas he spread. His vision of cultural integration and unity inspired future generations of leaders and thinkers. The Hellenistic period, which followed his death, saw the fusion of Greek and Eastern cultures on an unprecedented scale. Alexander's dream of a world where different cultures could coexist peacefully began to take root. His legacy was also preserved in the many stories and legends that arose after his death. Tales of his bravery, wisdom, and leadership became part of the folklore of many cultures. In India, he was remembered as Sikandar, a warrior king who fought bravely against all odds. In Persia, His story was told as that of a great ruler who respected the customs of those he conquered. In Egypt, he was worshipped as a god and remembered as the founder of one of the greatest cities in the ancient world. Alexander's life and achievements became the stuff of legend, inspiring countless stories and myths. His charisma, leadership, and vision left an indelible mark on the world. Even today, Alexander the Great is remembered as one of history's greatest military commanders. His story is a testament to the power of ambition, courage, and vision. Alexander's life was filled with moments of humor, as he often used wit to motivate his men. Once, when his soldiers complained about the long march, he quipped, "If I could walk faster, I would leave you all behind." His men laughed, their spirits lifted by their king's humor, and they continued the march with renewed vigor. Alexander's ability to connect with his troops on a personal level made him a beloved leader. He understood that leadership was not just about giving orders but about inspiring and motivating others. His sense of humor, combined with his bravery and charisma, made him a legendary figure among his men. Alexander's story is also one of personal growth, as he evolved from a young prince into a wise and powerful king. He learned from his experiences, always seeking to improve himself and his leadership. His encounters with different cultures broadened his perspective and deepened his understanding of the world. Alexander's curiosity and openness to new ideas made him a true student of the world. He was not afraid to challenge tradition and embrace new ways of thinking. His vision of a united world was rooted in his belief in the power of knowledge and cultural exchange. Alexander's life was filled with interesting and humorous moments, reflecting his dynamic personality. During one campaign, he bet his men that he could drink more water than any of them, only to laugh when he lost the bet. His men loved him not just for his leadership but for his ability to laugh at himself. Alexander's humility and willingness to share in the experiences of his men made him a beloved figure. He was not just a king, he was a friend and comrade to those who followed him. Alexander's legacy is also one of resilience, as he faced numerous challenges and setbacks throughout his life. Despite the obstacles, he never gave up, always pushing forward toward his goals. His determination and perseverance became a source of inspiration for those around him. Alexander's story is a reminder that greatness is achieved not just through conquest but through the impact one has on the world. His vision of a united world, where different cultures could thrive together, remains relevant even today. Alexander's life was also marked by his love for adventure and exploration. He was driven by a desire to see what lay beyond the known world, to discover new lands and peoples. This sense of adventure made him a true pioneer, always pushing the boundaries of the possible. Alexander's legacy is not just in the cities he founded or the battles he won, but in the spirit of exploration and curiosity he embodied. His life was a journey of discovery, not just of lands, but of ideas and cultures. Alexander's story is also one of humility, as he recognized the contributions of those around him. He often credited his success to the loyalty and bravery of his men, acknowledging their sacrifices. This humility endeared him to his troops, who were willing to follow him to the ends of the earth. Alexander's ability to inspire loyalty and devotion was one of his greatest strengths as a leader. His charisma and leadership were unmatched, making him one of history's most iconic figures. Alexander's story is also filled with moments of humor, reflecting his light-hearted approach to life. Once, when his men complained about the lack of food, he joked, "We are so close to conquering the world, we don't need to eat." His men laughed, knowing that their king shared in their hardships and was always ready to lift their spirits. Alexander's sense of humor was a reflection of his deep understanding of human nature. He knew that laughter was a powerful tool for overcoming adversity and maintaining morale. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life made him a beloved leader. Alexander's charm and charisma were unmatched, and he won the hearts of many. He was not just a conqueror, he was a bridge between cultures, a symbol of unity. His legacy lives on in the many cities he founded and the cultural exchanges he promoted. Alexander's dream of a united world, where different cultures could coexist peacefully, continues to inspire. His life is a reminder that true greatness lies not in the lands one conquers, but in the impact one has on the world. Alexander's story is one of inspiration, filled with moments of humor, adventure, and vision. He showed that with determination, courage, and an open mind, anything is possible. Alexander's life was a journey, not just of conquest but of discovery and learning. His love for knowledge and exploration made him a true Renaissance man, ahead of his time. His vision of a united world, where different cultures could thrive together, was revolutionary. Alexander's legacy is a testament to the power of ambition, vision, and leadership. His life was filled with interesting and humorous moments, reflecting his dynamic personality. Alexander's sense of humor and light-hearted approach to life made him a beloved figure among his men. His story is a reminder that greatness is not just about power but about the impact one has on others. Alexander's legacy continues to inspire leaders, thinkers, and adventurers around the world. His life was a journey of exploration, not just of lands, but of ideas and cultures. Alexander's vision of a united world, where different cultures could coexist peacefully, remains relevant today. His legacy lives on in the many stories and legends that have been told about him. Alexander the Great is remembered not just as a conqueror, but as a visionary leader who sought to unite the world. His story is a reminder that true greatness lies not in the lands one conquers, but in the legacy one leaves behind. Alexander's life was filled with moments of humor, adventure, and vision, making him one of history's most iconic figures. His sense of humor and light-hearted approach to life made him a beloved figure among his men. Alexander's legacy continues to inspire generations, reminding us that with ambition, courage, and vision, anything is possible. And so, the legend of Alexander the Great, the man who sought to unite the world, lives on, inspiring us all to dream big and pursue our goals with passion.